it. We did
Huzzah.
it. Yeah.
It's a beautiful morning, at least on my side.
Well, it's 9 o'clock at night for me, so you know, it's something at least. You're listening to The Weekly Chaos, a gaming news podcast brought to you by The Offbeet
And Yaslanagrey.
Hi. Where each week we go over the changes, mishaps, and news from the gaming industry. Today, look, we've got a lot of topics to cover. I don't have a highlight reel of which ones they are. We
have quite a bit. We've been falling far too behind.
Yeah, I looked at our like backlog of topics, cut it in half, and just kind of picked everything from below there. So we've got a decent random collection of stuff. I can't help but think you're vaguely aiming that at me specifically, especially with the deaths in Fortnite.
It's just the fall damage.
It's just the fall damage. Always the fall damage.
Fix it.
Do you have a preferred place to start?
Not particularly, I'll be honest. Let's just dive right in somewhere.
Alrighty. Well, look, we may as well start. I've got this one open. So the new RPG Unawaken that's coming out is apparently some kind of like weird hybrid mixed breed between like Diablo 4 and Destiny 2 and everything it possibly can think of to mash together to make one game out of.
I was looking into this article a little vaguely, but it seems that it plays in the style of Diablo 4 and that is like a fantasy RPG, but it's all first person. So it's interesting as a concept. Not that it's in any way like unique, but at the same time, I feel it looks really cool.
Yeah. Look, I mean, some of the imagery and stuff like that is pretty decent. So, is the trailer in here? I did look, but there it is. Like the alpha trailer, it looks solid enough, and it's got a lot of like From Softy kind of vibes, and then not. And I'm really just not 100% sure what the plan is, but it for sure could be interesting.
It also kind of makes me think of like Doom 2016.
Oh yeah,
and that there's just a lot happening on screen, and it looks like the character kind of needs to keep moving as they go.
Yeah,
I'm seeing a lot of red screen too. Like
that's
I don't know how much that damage compounds.
It is like
how quickly that damage compounds or not.
Well,
but yeah.
So hopefully out of alpha it's not quite so rough. But I mean, it looks like it could definitely be interesting. So we'll keep an eye on it.
I feel like we don't really get a good spell slinging first person game.
Yeah,
too often.
It'll be nice to have something that's maybe a little bit Dark Souls-ish and maybe a little bit like,
I mean, even
just exciting.
Even I think it was EA's attempt at an FPS, but the FPS was all like magic casting. It was called like Immortals of Avium, and it was kind of disappointing to my understanding, to where like immediately after its launch they had to let a bunch of people go.
Yeah, look, I've not heard great things about where Avium ended up, so
which is sad because it also looked really interesting.
It did. I was really hyped to play it, and then it just, yeah, honestly, I wasn't even aware it came out until we covered it a week later, or 2-3 weeks later, or whatever the fuck it was. Like, I honestly didn't even know it came out. But yeah, I mean, that's about all I've got to say about that, is that we'll keep an eye on it, because it'd be cool as a first person concept to have something down this kind of layer.
Apparently it's already available to wishlist on Steam, so that's an option.
That's something. And then
or maybe one day it'll have a demo. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I thought New World died. Okay. I
feel the overall hype of it died.
I'm gonna be
not
perfectly
so much
honest.
the game itself.
I was under the impression that it literally fell apart.
Well, I mean, it did have a lot of discourse in terms of like money management and shit in its end game, to my understanding, to a point that people were literally there was literally a quote unquote grand heist of someone who made a guild that his guild put all the money into their chest. He just took it and left.
That honestly is some exceptional planning. Like I don't think you could have come up with any better way for that to work out. But apparently they've added mounts, which is cool, and apparently has made them leap up the charts again, which is kind of cool. This does mention just below Counter-Strike 2, and I just want to point out that I never purchased Counter-Strike 2, but apparently I own it. So apparently
That's because they played the first game with it. They did the same thing as Overwatch. They just got rid of the original game and replaced it with the sequel.
Yeah, which kind of reminds me of when U2 released its album to every iPhone ever on the planet.
The difference between the two being that people like Counter-Strike too.
Yeah, that people actually want to play Counter-Strike.
I don't know if I sent this in this article in particular. I might have, but there's Diablo 4 skins in Overwatch 2 now, and they only are available in a bundle, and that bundle's $40.
That's wholeheartedly ridiculous. That's what that is.
Isn't it? That's almost the cost of a new video game. Just to wear skins in this free to play game. No, that's some generalized insanity. But yeah, I honestly thought New World died, but I'm glad that it is picking up again. I know a lot of friends were really into New World for a bit there, and then it just disappeared. Like it was never all that good. So, you know. Now I hear 4090s are melting now, which, considering that 4090s were melting at the start of the year, I thought we fixed this. I thought this went away, but apparently they didn't go away so much as just kind of stopped doing it for a while, because apparently that's all it was. It just needed to wait for a little bit, and then eventually it would do it anyway. Never forget, never stop melting.
But like, you'd think by now that Nvidia would know how to make a power supply cable, right? It's not that complex.
No,
like
it's the most complex thing in the world. It's like trying to put split screen co-op on the new Forza game. You can't do it.
Fuck. I mean, look, we can try. We can hold out hope that Nvidia one day figures this out, and so does Forza. But yeah, apparently keep an eye on your 4090 power supply cables, because they are apparently still melting. Which is
Bang
a nice,
stick on 4090 too hard. Can't stop melt. No, too hard.
Now back to the question of why from last week, and probably, not last week, from the last one, and probably the one before that, and probably even the one before that. Why exactly are we arguing over whether or not in GTA 6 you should be able to kill children?
I mean, I feel like it should be a question of why the fuck are they wanting to include children?
That too. Why would you willingly put children in a GTA game? But like, why is it then a question whether or not you can kill them? I mean, Skyrim answered that question quite successfully.
Because killing kids is always considered to be a taboo thing, and is often runs a risk of forcing the game into an adults only rating due to extreme graphic violence that otherwise should not be ever portrayed, especially if you can do horrible things to said kids. So it's always a kind of a gray area for a developer. Like, do I want to include this and risk completely limiting my demographic, or should I just omit the option and play it safe to only be getting like an M rating at worst?
See, I just don't understand why A, you would include children in a game like GTA 6, but B, if you're going to, why would it be a question rather than just don't allow them to be killed? Because that seems excessive, especially in a country kind of largely overrun by, well, gun violence. Like, I feel like at this point it would be safer to not, and just generally don't include the children regardless.
Correct.
Like, at all. It should have just been, that should just be easier. Also, the concept that apparently GTA 6 might require 750 gig of storage.
The demo for the RoboCop game right now is 130 gigs. That's a fucking demo.
Why did we get to the point of building games that were this big, that we just need entire supercomputers just to fit them on our computers?
Yeah, the 750 gigabytes of storage is larger than the base hard storage state drives of the current generation consoles.
Yeah, like I don't understand what the plan is there with 750 gig.
That would eat so much of my PS5.
Yeah, like that's over half of my specific game drive in my computer. Like that's fucking ridiculous. Right, the Michael Jackson peak in Counter-Strike 2. I'm trying to vaguely understand why this particular animation glitch exists, but on top of that, it's a glorious looking animation glitch. Like there is some sheer sliding going on that just allows for a overall interesting thing to watch.
I just love that apparently it's just the result of trying to move two directions at the same time.
yeah, it's the old like click 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 to kind of like pan the wall. But like why is that a thing in the first place? How did they fuck up left and right movement so badly? Instead of moving the feet, it just makes you, well, slide. Like it's vaguely ridiculous. It's yeah. I'm impressed, Counter-Strike, that you managed to come out with a glitch like that in week 2. Sorry? Week 3. Are we in week 3 now?
I don't know. I
think it's week 3 since it actually went live. Already, they've got a glitch that's just that priceless.
It is a glorious thing.
I kind of forgot about Dead Drop, like Dr. Disrespect's game, because honestly, it's been so long since I saw anything about it. I'd kind of forgotten.
I'll be honest. I didn't forget it existed, but I did forget its name.
Yeah, there's that too. It's not Dead Drop, by the way. It's Dead Drop. Because there's only one D, so you have to choose where it goes. So it's either D Drop or it is Dead Drop. And look, Dr. Disrespect designing, creating, storylining an extraction shooter makes a lot of sense given Dr. Disrespect's like target gameplay style. Makes a lot of sense to me. The questions they've had along the ideas they've had along the way in terms of like effectively allowing you to buy into random early access sections without really any added benefit is a really weird system, especially with the NFT system they went behind. And then like they've chosen some
buying into early access where they don't even really have a game yet.
Yeah, like I don't really know what you're buying at this point and why you got given rights with the NFT stuff to like vote on things that would go in the game, which means that the game itself had like no content in it and they were just farming from people, which is a little bit sad.
Yeah, like they're literally just taking people's money at this point, and it's for promises that might not even actually yield a game by now. They've already got your money. You've already lost.
Also, I didn't realize that the game was going to include vehicles. I knew it was an extraction shooter, but why vehicles?
Because he's trying to make the better Warzone.
But you can't do vehicles in an extraction shooter. It takes away the stress of an extraction shooter. The stress of an extraction shooter in the form of like Tarkov is the sheer stress of having to be quiet, but still quick about your actions.
Well, I think the general concept was originally it was going to be a battle royale because it was literally him getting pissed at Warzone and saying, I'm going to make my own fucking Warzone with blackjack and hookers. And actually, you know what? Forget the Warzone. And then he just went and did blackjack and hookers.
Imagine if your entire plan is just get blackjack and hookers. That's it. That's all you have. You're like writing on a piece of paper, like, own Warzone. Blackjack, hookers. Wait, that's GTA. Gun violence. Yeah, I don't know. Cars is a weird choice to add to an extraction shooter. To a battle royale, sure. Obviously, Fortnite, Warzone, PUBG. Is there a single fucking battle royale on the market that hasn't had vehicles at some point?
Speaking of which, if we're going back to the first Fortnite map, I wonder if that means they're going to take vehicles out of the game because I think that was before vehicles. I
am hearing a lot about like the return to chapter 1 being a full return to chapter 1, including weapons that were vaulted and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, from from the general consensus is that we're specifically going back to chapter 1 season 5, because there's a Stargate in the background of the lobby now, and on the date above it is the launch of season 5 chapter 1.
Yeah, right. I know that from everything I could see, the plan was to, at least after Fortnightmares, use time to like do all the chapters back up out of chapter 1, all the season. Oh wait, seasons over chapters, chapters over seasons. I don't remember which way around Fortnite goes, but basically take us back.
Chapters
to
the map, and then seasons that's different iterations of that map.
Yeah, cool. So basically they were going to take us back to chapter 1 and then come back like week by week until we get to the end of it, and then flip us into chapter 5. So I don't know how that'll go, but I'll be interested to keep an eye on it. And obviously I'm sure we'll play it at some point. I would like the slightest of update on Unity in the fact that their CEO is just stepping down.
Well,
the final
he hands up, I fucked up, bye.
Yeah, he's like, you know what, I'm out, guys, I fucked this up, bye. And like, that's about it. Which is probably a good thing, because honestly, if their entire basis was the fact they needed to make more money, and this was the individual who decided that was a good idea, then look, I'm glad they're leaving. That's pretty much all I wanted to say.
I mean, I look at the guy. There's no way he needs more money.
No, not with this weird.
He looks like he smokes stogies in his yacht on a yacht.
Yeah, whilst also getting slow facial reconstruction surgery to start looking like Brandon Routh from, Superman Returns. Honestly, I kind of pulled this up, but I did not get a chance to look at the Gollum publishers using AI to write an apology. I'm assuming you did more than I did.
They fucked up. They made a horrible game, and it's a treat to watch other people play. I might add, it is an absolute delight to watch others suffer. I'm glad I did not. However, they were like, "Yo, we are sorry we made literally the worst game ever. Here's our apology letter," and they went through an AI chat system to do it, which kind of takes out some of the sincerity. Yeah,
look, I feel like that takes out a bit more than some of it, but at the same time, AI tools are being so frequently used for like writing, obviously, like for a lot of things that like I don't know, kind of not sure what we expect out of businesses these days, which is very unfortunate. Surely they can hire someone to write it. But
it's literally the worst game of all time, though.
Oh yeah. No, there are very few things that might classify as worse. I've not played it, but I have seen it played, and it is quite entertaining to watch.
I mean, personally, for anyone curious, I recommend Video Game Donkey's review, because it takes a lot of shots at it in the best way.
That's fair. I'm vaguely amused that X Defiant, the game that we couldn't understand why it got delayed, has been indefinitely delayed.
Oh yeah, the thing they were trying to get those what's the licensing or whatever for consoles, and then that just didn't happen. So like, well, okay, we'll try again later. And
then just now they're indefinitely stalled. So yeah. Look, clearly something isn't going well with their public test screening for stuff.
Ubisoft, are you okay?
No, they're not. They've never been
everything okay at home?
They will never be okay. I still don't understand why it's classified as Smash Bros with guns. Still not okay with that title. Speaking of Ubisoft, why did they jam the latest Assassin's Creed game into a bird's beak?
Gotta deliver it with bird, because
Assassin's Creed imagery, but at the same time, you fucked up, AA Ron. Like, there was no way this was a good PR stunt in any sense of the word at all.
Bird deliver. Bird Eagle vision. Bird take Game, give Eagle Vision from bird to Eagle Vision player. It's symbolic.
Yeah, no, I don't fucking get it. But yeah, look, I get that like Birds of Prey are big and within the series and all that kind of stuff, but there was 1,000 better ways to do this.
Thousands ways to better to do it, including just not doing it.
Yeah, that would have been the better option. I didn't realize just how much it would have cost at the time. Obviously, when Cyberpunk 2077 came out, just because obviously it was bad, but I never really thought about how bad it was. But $125 million to fix the post-launch.
Yes,
I mean update 2.
I mean, this overall, I just shared this article because I was just astonished at the commitment at that point. Like, kudos to them for really just digging in on the long haul.
Yeah, like that gives the impression that they made all their money from launch day and went, right, we've got the money. Let's put it back into the game and fix the problems.
Yeah, let's fix everything that people are complaining about so that they'll continue to play it.
Yeah, so now that they've bought it, they might actually play it again and maybe make some content out of it or something, so that we might actually get some more traffic in. Like it's a lot of money, and it is quite a commitment to your game to actually like put in that much in terms of effort.
Well, from what I can tell, though, that seems to just kind of be their status quo, because I think they did a similar thing. I don't know about the amount they spent on it, mind you, but apparently they did the same thing with Witcher 3. Witcher 3, I guess, wasn't that great at launch. I don't think it was as broken as Cyberpunk was, mind you, but they just seem to really always kind of stick to their guns, and you have to respect them for that. Oh,
for sure. Yeah. No shit. Especially as like 2077 itself, it says here, itself costs 1.2 billion Polish, I don't know how to pronounce their currency, which is like $316 million US just to make their game. That's not the 125 they spent fixing it afterwards or update 2. So that's an exceptionally deep commitment to your game. And I hope whatever it is they're working on next is exciting as shit.
Yeah, I guess they said that this first expansion for Cyberpunk is going to be the only one because they're moving on to a different engine, a different source engine for their next project.
Yeah.
And now it's no longer compatible.
Yeah, which, is fine.
It's fair.
Right, Silent Hill Ascension.
Yeah, the interactive game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how interactive. Like, are we bringing the kind of interaction we got with like Baldur's Gate, where chat can vote on people's decisions? Maybe, like,
maybe. I mean, I just know that Ascension was marketed as a community experiment. They were going to create a game that the entire world could be included in at the same time.
Yeah, it does say daily live stories, so.
I'm like, you know what? In the realm of Silent Hill, that sounds like a feasible plan.
Yeah, unfortunately, it might also lead us to the kind of like end of the world shit that, Silent Hill is based on.
I mean, we're already on our way there.
Mobile game, and now it's the end of the world.
We're already on our way there. Let's just at least make it fun.
Yeah, may as well at least make it interactive. But it sounds pretty cool as a concept.
Personally, I'm excited for the remake of Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
So I would love to see Silent Hill as an IP make a comeback. So I've got big hopes for Ascension just because I want it to kind of set the groundwork to show just how much we all need Silent Hill back in our lives.
Yeah, and then hopefully it'll make it. Now you sent me the While We Wait Here demo announcement trailer. But I haven't watched it because I wanted at least the reaction to be somewhat legitimate. Do you have a vague upcoming first-person game about managing a roadside restaurant as the world goes to hell outside?
That sounded funny. I haven't actually watched the trailer either, but it sounds hilarious.
And a playable demo is currently available on Steam.
Let's do it. Let's see what this shit's all about.
Yep.
Everything seems strange now, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? Why are you wearing a alfoil hat?
Because aliens.
Aliens.
World's gone to shit.
The
Aliens,
government
probably.
and aliens are coming from my brains.
Aliens are coming from my cum. Come from my brain. I'm an alien. Ah, shit.
To leave.
I'm curious why you would continue to like. Did it not say you were running? It said something. Yeah, sorry.
I thought it said you were running a diner.
Yeah, it's the end of the world. Like, do you have customers?
You're doing a great
Or do you serve the demons and aliens and all the other things from the end of the world?
The lack of moving mouths.
as long as you stay here.
That's some PlayStation 1 life right there.
Mhm. Even the graphics really weren't that far off on the people. Oh, hello. Bit more context around the end of the world now.
Oh, good. Meteor showers.
Yeah.
Fuck the meteor showers. I'll make pancakes.
All right. You're like a good 30 seconds behind me, aren't you?
Yeah.
Interesting. It's very, it does look very janky. It'll be interesting.
Janky can be fun.
It'll be interesting to see where it goes. A horror, psychological horror restaurant management game.
All right.
I don't know how that's a sentence, but apparently it is.
I mean, it's right up your alley with your coffee cart.
Yeah. It definitely
Go
could be.
serve the clientele at the end of the world.
Oh, for sure. It definitely could be a lot of fun. But that about brings us to the end of all the things that I randomly decided to pick out of the list for today. Which makes this possibly our quickest episode ever.
Well, I mean, it could have been much longer, but
I didn't want to go through that much.
Shouldn't go
backlog.
too far. We shouldn't go too far back because it's not news anymore when it's like a month ago.
Yeah, like I mean, we haven't done one since the week before the week of your wedding, so that's back a bit.
Correct. Yeah.
But thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Offbeat, thank you for being here. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, go give us reviews on whatever goddamn place you happen to be. Offbeat, do you have anything exciting to say?
Lords of the Fallen's remake is officially out, and I am very excited to play it. You should all play it too. It's just so it's like where you're going to the underworld and then you do the cool things with the killing people.
And there you have it. That sounds pretty fun. Cool. Well, I think that about brings us to the end of it. So bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye now.
We did.
Bye. Bye. I'm in a box.